with our concern about the Great Salt Lake, Representative Jill Coford's bill about data center water policies and those data centers needing to report their water usage, all Utahns right now want to know where our water is going. And that's what's going to inform the decision making about how we can try to conserve water where we need to, get water to the lake, still have water for the things that we want to do. And so understanding how much water data centers are using can be an important piece in that puzzle.
Marty, this is an interesting issue for you, too. I think as you work with some of these companies, AI seems to be sticking around.
AI takes up a lot of power. We need a lot of power, and the data centers use a lot of water traditionally, although there have been a lot of advancements in this. And I know that the data center, the large data center campus they're proposing to build down in Delta is actually going to use data centers that don't use any water. The entire data center is supposed to use only the water basically to flush the toilets and use the sink and et cetera. So less than a household really uses in any given day. So it's one of those things where, hey, we do have some data centers that particular policy is probably a pretty good one, but the technology is advancing to the point where ultimately and hopefully within the next decade, that's not really that much of a concern for us.
And I think a bigger question will be like, how are we going to power those data centers? We have certainly a lot of momentum behind nuclear here in Utah. Lots of state leaders have been putting that framework together over the last couple of years. We're seeing some bills to continue that work and to really accelerate that process. That horizon has usually been 10 years plus, and I think maybe we're trying to get that down to maybe the 5-year horizon on deploying these what they call small-scale nuclear reactors here in Utah to provide the power for these AI data centers that seem to be the future of basically everything.
The whole state basically creates or generates about 10 gigawatts of power in a year right now. The project down in Delta, for example, could double that, and then potentially even more as nuclear may be a part of that, and then we're going to add potentially more nuclear in other parts of the state. So it's really interesting to think that the thing that's going to power us is power, right? We're going to need that electricity, and that's what's going to help keep America secure and competitive going forward, and Utah can be a big part of that. We can be a big energy producer.